everyone is wrong about New York City's most viral bagels. Let me tell you why.
Popup Bagel has seemingly come out of nowhere over the past few years, absolutely taking over social media with its viral videos.
Bagels in Soho, and here
we're at the viral.
I'm always on the hunt to find the best bagels in NYC.
I waited in line in the rain for the viral New York City bagel.
We're about to try the best bagels in New York City.
And getting not only endorsements, but investments of millions of dollars from celebrities like Paul Rudd, Michael Strahan, and Michael Phelps.
They are as advertised. So much so that you could actually just bite right into them. They don't even need cream cheese. And the magical thing about these bagels is that the poppy seeds never stick to your teeth. Well done, guys. I'm sorry we missed you here today, but hopefully sometime in the future. I'm just gonna take these now and have a little quiet time to myself.
Their whole gimmick is that you will get the freshest bagels ever right out of the oven only. I'm at their New York City location, just one of 6 locations as of making this video.
Okay, so here's my thought process. Everything right out of the oven is going to taste amazing, no matter what it is. So I don't think that's a good test for what is truly the best bagel in New York City, which every single person on social media has told me is Popup Bagel. So here's the test we're gonna run. I got the bagels. I set a timer for 2 hours because I think if you go to any bagel shop, within 2 hours the bagels should be fresh and they should be amazing. We're gonna bring the bagels home and then we're gonna taste. And I think that is a true way to judge Popup Bagels versus all the other bagels in New York City. So we have an hour and 53 minutes. I'm gonna go home and then I'll catch you guys then, and then we'll taste. Okay, so the 2 hours is almost up, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about my thought process and why I wanted to do this test. And self-admittedly, maybe my little bit of bias going into this test. Now, some of it is Popup Bagel's fault, and some of it definitely isn't. I think any single time I see anything going like super viral on social media, it kind of makes me not want to go there, honestly. It's a pretty big turnoff, and almost nothing has been more viral than Popup Bagels over the past year. So many of the people telling me that these are the greatest bagels they've ever had are not from New York City. And while you could have a thought, you're allowed to think what is best and what's not best, I don't think you could definitively say anything like that about bagels unless you're from like New York or Montreal. So going into it, I was like, a few other things. One, you have to order a minimum amount of bagels, which I don't love. It's a little bit more, their approach is a little bit more Montreal style, which is like, these bagels are not for sandwiches, they're for like ripping and dipping. So while I can appreciate that, I don't like that I have to order 3 bagels. Now, to be fair, I ordered 3 bagels, which is the minimum, and they gave me 5, which is pretty cool. I also got their scallion cream cheese, which everyone really raves about. And I got lox. So they don't make these, but I figured try them anyway. Now, all that was for $24, which I actually don't think is that terrible for this amount of food. Now the bagels are like a little bit, maybe smaller in diameter, but pretty thick compared to normal bagels. So maybe it's more of like hey, you're eating 2 of these bagels versus 1 of these bagels, which is why they recommend 3 bagels. I just don't like that you're forced into ordering 3 bagels. I also think that my approach to what I do online has always been like, I always say like a highlight. I don't review. I try really hard not to be negative, but if you are a bagel shop or a restaurant or whatever that is going insanely viral, plus you get millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars of funding from all these different celebrities, at that point, I don't really think it's me punching down on anyone. We're punching up. And I think if you're punching up, it's totally cool. So we got just a few more minutes left, and then we will taste these bagels and see for sure if they are the best bagels of all time, like everyone on TikTok has told me. Okay, that is it. It has been 2 hours exactly since they handed me the bagels, and let's try them. Now, I will say, we ripped apart that bagel right when we walked out of there because I wanted that shot and, a little bit of B-roll. It was much softer in the hand. This thing is rock solid. So they've definitely gone over a little bit of change, but that's totally fair. That's totally fine. I could do that. I say let's taste this on its own with those scallion cream cheese and then with the smoked salmon. I mean, a much bigger struggle than before. And so this is my problem when I was looking at them before. I had this like eye for bagels. Now the insides of this bagel just never looked like a bagel to me. It looks and feels much more almost brioche and challah-y than a bagel. There's also no real hole in the bagel. There's a little baby hole, which I'm okay with. Some people have a much bigger problem with that than others. I'm okay with it, but let's do the taste test and see. I really want to be fair to these bagels. I don't want to just be an asshole, but they don't taste like anything. You're getting like that everything bagel seasoning, obviously. But I don't even know how to put this, but it is just this like absolutely plain, nothing happening going on. And listen, if you want to tell me, well, make a sandwich out of it, it doesn't matter. But you specifically told me that you don't make sandwiches. It's a rip and dip situation. Because like Montreal style bagels too are a rip and dip situation. But what I like about Montreal style bagels is they're like a little bit sweet and has this really nice chew going on where I would say Montreal style bagels on their own taste much better than New York City bagels. But that's why New York City bagels are better for sandwiches and Montreal is better for rip and dip. This didn't taste like anything. But all right, let's try it with the cream cheese. Let's continue to be fair about this. I love scallion cream cheese. That's going to taste good on any bread, pretty much on any bagel. I just don't think these taste like anything. Am I fucking crazy? All right, one more test. We'll do scallion cream cheese, we'll do lox, we'll do the full bite. I appreciate how crusty the bagel's on the outside. I appreciate how much everything bagel seasoning there is on there. It just doesn't have that like nice crusty chew that I expect from a bagel. And I just think it doesn't taste like anything. Like, again, I can't even tell you how to describe it. I think maybe because the texture is so challah brioche that I'm expecting maybe like a little bit of like custardy, eggy in there. Maybe I'm expecting a little bit of sweetness in there. I'm expecting something, and it literally tastes like nothing.
All right, I'm truly feeling insane about these bagels, so just what I'm gonna do. In my apartment building is my neighbor, Alana Levin. She's a good friend of mine, works in food PR, trusts her food opinion. We're gonna go over there, give her these bagels and see what she thinks, because I feel like I'm crazy right now. All right, so we got the bagels. They are like a little over 2 hours out of the oven. Everything bagels, scallion cream cheese is what's in there.
I wanted to, it doesn't have that much depth of flavor.
It has no flavor.
It has no flavor.
It's insane.
It doesn't have any flavor.
And that's why I feel like people eat it right out of the oven and like, oh my God, it's so crusty and whatever. But like everything out of oven tastes good. It literally, it tastes like paper. Am I fucking crazy?
It tastes like paper. Actually, like I had a feeling that you probably, because you said, am I crazy? I had a feeling you're probably going to say something about the flavor or lack of. And I wanted to be wrong. But it doesn't have any flavor. I need Michael to try this too.
It's very strange. Yes.
It might just be because it's not warm, but it tastes like dust.
he's
Paul Rudd, if you need better investment advice, I'm not the person, but I will tell you maybe this wasn't the best.
We are Jews.
In New York, I mean, I'm a real New York City Jew. You've been here long enough. You're a New York City Jew
I've
too.
been here 10 years, that makes it official.
This ain't it.
These are absolutely not New York City's best bagels. I don't care what any of you guys say. Sorry, I don't want to be a hater. I don't want to be an asshole about this. But I don't know. Am I crazy? Let me know in the comments below. I thought I was more than fair to these things. And if you want to tell me, hey, well, you're supposed to eat them fresh right out of the restaurant. But how? There's only 2 seats. It's not a place to sit. So what, you have to stand on the street and eat your bagel, and that's the only way you could experience a bagel. And you can't even stand on the street because it's a rip and dip situation. So you can't hold the bag to do it. If it was a sandwich, maybe you could do it. The idea of bagels is that you should go to the bagel shop, be able to bring them home, and within an hour, you should be able to eat them. And I did 2 hours because at a bagel shop, I expect them to be sitting for at least an hour. So gave that 2-hour window. These are right out of the oven. Yes, I understand that's what they pitch. I just don't think it's fair to be like, these are the greatest bagels of all time, which every single person has said to me. I don't know. I'm not into it. This isn't it. This ain't it, Chief. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think, because I really want to hear your opinions on this.
Well, if you made it this far, sub would be great because I go on food adventures all over the world. And here are a few bagels you should be eating instead.